Welcome to Mindful Monday. I am so excited today. We have two awesome guests going to share some amazing resources. My name is Marilyn Chappell with Exceeds Expectations, and we have Brittanie Giroux and Jacob Moore with Metro Energy Center. And so I'm not going to take up too much time because I know you guys have a presentation that you would like to share with us. I know that uh, environmental and economic vitality is important to you guys. And so I know I learned a lot from you when I had a meeting with you guys. What was it about a week ago?
About a week ago, we met
Yeah.
at the Housing Authority of Kansas City's Empowerment Summit, and that was a really great event where we got to meet a lot of different stakeholders and partners in the city that work on housing, affordability, utilities, and all those different cool resources. So it was
Yes,
really
and I'm so glad we connected because it's all about making sure that we, one, know the resources that we have out there in the community, but then two, making sure that if we didn't know nothing about it, I'm talking about myself. I didn't know anything about Metro Energy Center, and so I wanted to make sure that I got that out to the community as well for those who don't know a lot about Metro Energy Center. And so, can you, Brittanie, and Jacob, and whoever wants to go first, but just share a little bit about yourselves individually and then tell us about Metro Energy Center.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, my name is Brittanie Giroux, and I am the Senior Program Coordinator for the Building Performance Department at Metropolitan Energy Center. And I've been there for almost 3 years now, and I really help out with a couple different programs. One being our benchmarking program, which helps building owners of a certain building size, 50,000 square feet or more, submit their electricity, gas, and water bills to the city so that they're compliant with the law, as well as our Healthy Housing Task Force, which has stakeholders from different areas in the city, different jobs, different sectors that care about housing, care about affordability, care about healthy homes. And I help run that task force, as well as other things, grant writing, social media, the
All
typical
the hats.
nonprofit things. So I will give you a little bit about Metro Energy Center, and then I'll pass it on to Jacob. But essentially, Metro Energy Center is a 40-year-old nonprofit, and we focus on energy efficiency and making sure that our air is clean and free from pollution and greenhouse gases. And we do that through two different departments. One is the building sector, which Jacob and I work in, and two is our transportation department, which focuses more on like electric vehicles and alternative fuels, and we focus on energy conservation and energy efficiency. So that's a little bit about us. We do educational events, we do tabling events. That's how we met you, Marilyn, through a tabling event. And we also give presentations to community groups that want to learn more about energy and utility bills. So I will pass it over to Jacob.
How you guys doing? My name is Jacob Moore. I am one of the newbies at Metro Energy Center. I have been there for, I think, going on 4 weeks now. I am a program coordinator. My main focus is the Healthy Homes um, project, which I will be speaking to you guys today about. And I have worked in the nonprofit sector for about 5 years, so with various nonprofits. So just happy to be here.
Thank you guys for just saying yes to educating us and creating the awareness around energy. And so I will go ahead and turn it over to you all to start your presentation.
Okay, that sounds good. So I will go ahead and share my screen. Been doing this long enough, so it should be easy. Let's see. Entire screen and share. Great. So I believe you all should be seeing my screen now. So just give me a verbal confirmation that you can see it.
Yep.
Okay, great. Well, thank you all. I know this is a pre-recording, and so you'll be watching this on Monday, but hello, my name again is Brittanie Giroux. I am the Senior Program Coordinator for the Buildings Department at Metropolitan Energy Center. And one of the things that we like to educate folks about is the intersection between energy efficiency and healthy housing. And health and energy efficiency really can help your home be healthier, safer, and more comfortable for you and your family. And we're going to get into that a little bit in this presentation. So, healthy housing, really, what is it? Well, healthy housing is housing that is, number one, healthy for you and your family, and also safe. And the reason why housing impacts our health so much is because we spend so much of our time indoors. And because we spend a lot of times indoors, we are exposed to a variety of different hazards. And just to give you a few facts about how much time we spend inside, young children spend about 70% of their time in the home. And seniors, even more, they can spend up to 90% of their time inside. 9 out of every 10 breaths that we take are from an indoor space. And 20,000 out of the average 21,000 breaths that someone takes in a day come from indoor air. And so that's why it's so important that we have housing that is safe and livable for us and our families. So in the next few modules, we will review each healthy home principle. There are 8 of them, and you can see them to the right on your screen. They include keeping your home clean, keeping it safe, keeping it dry, keeping it well ventilated, keeping it pest-free, keeping it comfortable, keeping it contaminant-free, and keeping your home well maintained. And all of those elements work together to create a healthy home. And to give you a little bit of history on housing, in the past, most people lived in rural areas. It was a very farming and agricultural based society. But then when the Industrial Revolution happened, we had a lot of industry, we had a lot of factories popping up. More people migrated into city centers and urban centers to do that work, to have employment. And because of that, housing became very unsafe, very unhealthy, very crowded. They lived in things called tenements. And many families lived in small, cramped spaces. And the factories that people were working in produced a lot of air pollutants. So the air was full of smog. There was waste coming from these factories that went into rivers and streams and lakes, which polluted them. And there weren't a lot of regulations surrounding sewage, so kind of gross, but a lot of raw sewage just flowing through the streets. And this was before there were a lot of federal and state and local laws that said that your housing had to be up to a certain standard. And some of the factors, some of the social determinants of health that affect your housing is economic security, healthcare and insurance access, resources for personal and family care, perceived discrimination, and environmental conditions. And when we talk about people who are vulnerable to hazards in the home, there are 2 groups that are the most, and those include children and seniors. Children, because they're still developing their immune system, so they are more vulnerable to the air pollutants in the air, dust particles, allergens. They also have poor hygiene. Kids are kind of nasty, be picking their nose and sneezing with their mouth open. They don't really know all the good hygiene rules yet, so that can make them more vulnerable to hazards. Like I said, they don't know about hazards like adults do. They're still learning. And they have a higher respiration rate. Their lungs are smaller, so that means they're breathing more and have the capacity to breathe in more hazards, more air pollutants. And seniors, because Most are on fixed incomes or have limited financial resources. As you get older, your immune system does get weaker, a lower respiration rate, and they are very vulnerable to extreme heat in the summer and extreme cold in the winter, as well as a decrease in mobility that can make them subject to falls, trips, slips, and things like that in the home. And for the healthy housing principles, which there are 8 of, to be effective, they have to be applied as an integrated approach, or they have to be applied together. And it needs to consider the following 3 factors: the people living in your home and their health conditions, the building and its components, and identifying and eliminating environmental and physical hazards. And so homes are systems. Each part of the home works together to either create a healthy home or create an unhealthy home. And so we're going to move to the first healthy homes principle, which is keeping your home clean. The thing that you should remember is that routine cleaning reduces exposure to hazards. And if you clean regularly, you are reducing your exposure to dust and breathable particles, chemical residues, allergens, pollutants, and heavy metals such as lead and arsenic. And cleaning often reduces opportunities for pests like roaches and rodents to find food. Nobody likes those, so definitely we want to make sure that we're cleaning our homes as often as we can. And some healthy cleaning strategies that we have here is swiping when you're cleaning your floors rather than dry sweeping with a broom. The best thing to use is a Swiffer or a microfiber mop that you can see here on your screen, because when you're sweeping with just a regular broom, you're just moving dust particles from one area of your home to another. You're just sweeping and it's just going everywhere. So the best thing is using a Swiffer or a microfiber cloth to get those dust particles. Also, vacuuming if you have carpet, the best thing is to have a vacuum with a beater bar. And also, if you are mopping, with the microfiber cloth, using simple ingredients and making sure to change out your water frequently. And so these are some tips for every healthy homes principle. There are tips that we have here for if you own your home and also if you rent your home. So if you own your home, and even if you rent, what you need to be doing is vacuuming and cleaning your floors regularly. I know most of us do this anyway, but just a reminder to wash our bed linens regularly, at least every 2 weeks. Some of us do it more frequently. So, the rule of thumb is every 2 weeks. Having a mat in front of your door, outside of your door, so that dirt and dust can come off your shoes before you go inside. And then house shoes are also a good remedy as well. So making sure to take off your outdoor shoes, leave them by your door, and put your house shoes on, so you're not tracking all the nasty outdoor gunk into your home. Using cleaning products that are labeled non-toxic, and just making sure to keep your areas clutter-free so rodents and roaches and bugs don't have places to hide. And if you rent, your landlord should make sure that there's no clutter on the sidewalks and in your hallways. And they should consider putting in hard surface floors like vinyl or hardwood, because they're easier and faster to be cleaned. Next principle is keeping it dry. I know a lot of times we can get moisture or water in our homes from a lot of different places. Sometimes your basement might flood if it's raining really heavily, like it has been doing the past couple weeks this summer. I feel like all it's done is rain this summer. So some people's basement starts flooding, also from leaks in your home, maybe in your roof, or you have some cracks in your windows or doors and water is coming in. And even from different parts of your home, like the kitchen when you're cooking, all that steam from your pots when you're boiling water for pasta, or in your bathroom when you're taking a shower, all the steam from your shower, that introduce moisture into your homes and can cause things like mold growth. And nobody likes mold. It just looks gross, and it also has some kind of health impacts. It can be really bad for people with asthma. The mold spores will interfere with their breathing. Um, so what you should do if you do find yourself having mold, in your bathroom or kitchen or somewhere where moisture has been introduced, what you want to do is spot vacuum that area and then use a cleaning solution of hot water and detergent and rub it away, brush it away with rags, brushes, and the like. One thing though is to not use a high pressure sprayer because that's going to spray all the mold spores everywhere and you're just going to make the problem worse. So just making sure to vacuum that area and then cleaning with hot water and detergent is a good way to get rid of small areas of mold. And again, some tips. If you rent or own, make sure to wipe up spills quickly. Use exhaust fans when you're showering or cooking. And if you don't have exhaust fans, you can use like an area fan in your kitchen. Just bring your fan over so that you're making sure the air is circulating, or using a fan after you shower so that the water on the walls don't just sit there and create mold. And making sure that you use a dehumidifier if your home is too humid. And then if you rent, make sure that you're reporting plumbing leaking and leaks from your roof to your landlord. And they are responsible for cleaning up moldy surfaces as well. All right, keeping your home pest free. Now, a lot of us just cannot stand pests. We cannot stand the sight of them. They make our blood crawl, they make our skin itch, and we'll do almost anything to get rid of them. But a lot of these pesticides can be dangerous if you use too much, too many, or the wrong kind. So make sure that you're reading all labels of any pesticides that you may use in your home. And the best way to address pests, the EPA recommends an integrated pest management approach. So it's basically, trying to get rid of pests from the best way to the least best way, or a first approach to the last resort approach. And so sanitation practices are the best way to prevent pests. And then you go on to biological controls, and then the last resort would be pesticides. And the reason why they have this integrated pest management system or approach instead of just fogging your home with a pest fog is because doing this approach will reduce your exposure to hazardous chemicals. And so what they recommend is using roach baits or gels if you have those kind of pests, boric acid, and snap traps for rodents. And I know, kind of gross, but bed bugs are also a pest that some people might encounter at some point in their life. They are attracted to warmth, which we are warm. Our bodies are warm, and carbon dioxide. So we make a tasty treat for them. And you can tell if you have them because they're visible by the human eye. They're about the size of an apple seed, and they leave brownish red spots. So what you need to know is that heat and steam can kill them. So when you're doing bed bug treatments, just know that heat and steam can kill them, and green pesticides work as well. And you'll want to vacuum your area as well. Some tips: if you rent or own and you find cockroaches or mice or other pests in your apartment, tell your landlord right away. And other things you can do is just making sure you clean up any open or unsealed food or crumbs. Don't leave dirty dishes out overnight. I know sometimes we get tired from a long day of work, but don't do it. That even a small crumb is like a feast to roaches and to bugs and mice. So making sure you're cleaning up your dirty dishes, don't leave them out overnight, cleaning up spills, making sure to sweep, mop, and vacuum regularly, taking your trash out regularly, and cleaning up clutter. So again, these pests do not have anywhere to hide. And your landlord has the responsibility to make sure that holes in the wall, floors, and ceilings are sealed to prevent these pests from coming inside your home from the outside. And they have the responsibility to repair areas with water leaks or water damage right away. All right, keeping your home contaminant free. Within a lot of products we use in the home, they can contain something called volatile organic compounds, which are chemicals that are known to cause health problems. And some of the potential effects of these volatile organic compounds, or VOCs, include eye, nose, and throat irritation. It can cause headaches or nausea and shortness of breath. Excuse me. And even over a long period of time could possibly cause cancer. And they can be found in a lot of different products that we have, like air fresheners or cleaning products, sprays and coatings, drywall, and the like. So what you should do to keep your home chemical free is try to find and try to use products that are non-toxic. Look for the statement lead-free when you buy products that are not made in the US. Don't smoke in the house. If you have to smoke, go outside. And making sure that you're putting all of your pesticides, baits, traps, things like that out of the reach of children. You know, they're curious. They like to put things in their mouth. And in order to create a healthy and safe home, you want to make sure that you are reducing their access to those things. Making sure that you protect your skin, your eyes, and your lungs while using pesticides. So making sure you have a facial covering when you're using chemicals, you're wearing gloves, and always wash your hands after using them. Making sure that you don't mix products together unless you're certain that you can. You know, I know we see a lot of things on the internet, people pouring multiple 5, 6, 7 types of cleaning products in their toilets and tubs to try to get the ultimate clean, but what they're doing is creating really powerful and toxic gases. So just don't mix things if you don't know if they go together. And then if you rent, your landlord should know whether your house or apartment has been tested for lead-based paint. A lot of older homes, if they were built before 1978, could possibly have paint that has lead in it, and lead causes extreme health hazards. And so if there is lead-based paint, that they take the appropriate steps to deal with it. All right, keeping your home safe. Most injuries are preventable. Accidents are not, because that's what they are. They're accidents. They happen. But the goal of keeping your home safe is to prevent injuries when accidents do happen. So some things that you can do to keep your home safe is making sure that you have smoke and carbon dioxide alarms. The Consumer Product Safety Commission recommends that you have one in each bedroom and at least one on each floor, and making sure that they are placed in the correct spot. So on the ceiling is best, about 4 inches away from your sidewall. And then the second best place is on the sidewall, about 4 inches down from your ceiling. And when you have kids in the house, or you have older folks, seniors, they have limited mobility. They may not be as agile as they once were. So accidents can happen, trips and slips can happen. So in order to prevent those, you should use anti-tip shelf brackets or straps and attach them to the wall. So again, some tips to keep your home safe. Making sure that you're keeping your floor clear of toys, shoes, other things that can cause tripping, cleaning up spills right away so that people aren't slipping on liquids, using non-skid mats and rugs, making sure that you keep all different kinds of products, especially toxic and harmful ones, out of the reach of children. In order to prevent fires and burns, having a smoke alarm in each sleeping area, as well as a carbon dioxide alarm. What you can do is practice and plan a fire escape route with your children. And then I know a lot of us may have space heaters in our homes during the winter, but that also is a fire hazard if they're near fabrics, curtains, bedding. So you need to keep them at least 3 feet away from those things. And then your landlord has the responsibility to make sure that all smoke alarms are working, as well as your carbon dioxide alarms. All right, keeping your home well ventilated. So keeping your home well ventilated just means having a good flow of air circulation in your home. I know a lot of us come from homes where, we open the windows, open the doors so that there's not stale air in the home. And that's good because we want good ventilation within our homes so we're not breathing the same stagnant air. And that's because poor ventilation is associated with respiratory irritation, common colds, the flu, pneumonia, and bronchitis. And when you have these things, that means you're going to be missing more work. You're going to be missing more school if you get sick because of poor ventilation. And these are the areas in the home that you need to make sure are well ventilated and use spot ventilation like your exhaust fans. So the bathroom, your kitchen, the room with your boiler and furnace, areas where you might have a fireplace or a wood burning stove. Those are all places that are going to be, having different pollutants or moisture, and they need to be well ventilated. And again, all homes should have a carbon monoxide alarm as well. Okay. So tips to keep your home well ventilated: make sure you're using your exhaust fans when you're cooking or bathing, and making sure that you're checking your smoke and carbon monoxide alarms, making sure you replace those batteries twice a year. And then for landlords, if necessary, they need to install exhaust fans in the bathroom and kitchen that vent to the outside. They have a responsibility to make sure your smoke and carbon monoxide alarms are working, and that your furnace for your apartment or home is working. So we're almost done here. Keeping it comfortable. And this is where MEC really works in the intersection of healthy housing and energy efficiency by keeping your home comfortable. Most people don't really think about energy efficiency until they start feeling it physically, like in the summertime when a room you're in may be too hot, or in the winter, you don't know why a room is so cold and you have to use a space heater and run it all the time. And that's because homes can have air leaks in them. You can have cracks in your windows and your doors. You can have a lack of insulation in your home, and that makes your home feel uncomfortable, hot or cold. And these are the major sources of where air can leak into your home, through plumbing entries, electrical outlets, through ducts, through your fireplace, through windows, floors, walls, and ceilings, as well as doors. And so the important thing to remember here is that insulation reduces heat transfer. So the flow of energy goes from hot to cold. So in the wintertime, your hot air in your home is moving outside through these cracks. And in the summertime, the hot air outside is moving into your home through the cracks in your home. So what we need to do is make sure your home is well insulated. And before you insulate, air seal. So like using caulking on those cracks, because if you insulate your home and there's still cracks in your home, you're not fixing the entire problem. So keeping it comfortable is about managing the heat transfer, airflow, and moisture. So air sealing must happen before insulation. Your air barrier and insulation must be continuous, and they must be in contact with each other. And I know this is kind of a difficult concept to wrap your head around, but at MEC, we're here to talk about energy all day, every day, how to keep your home comfortable, and how to, make small changes to your home so your utility bills will go down. So if you have any questions at all about this presentation or your utility bills, please feel free to call us, give us an email. and we'd be happy to do that. We also have a demonstration home that has been retrofitted, or it has been built in a way that it is energy efficient, and we host tours there, so you can come on in and see the things in action, like that they're right there, so you can see the things you can do in your home. So we'd be happy to give you a tour as well. So if you rent or own, some things you can do to keep your home comfortable is to switch to LED lighting, have your heating or air conditioner serviced every 2 years, give it a little tune up just to make sure it's running right, replacing your furnace filters on a regular basis, insulate your water heater, make sure that your home is weatherized and using weather stripping around your door, and using a power switch so that you can conserve energy. If you're a landlord, you should have your building air sealed and with additional insulation so that the utility bills can be reduced, using spray foam to seal holes, gaps, and leaky areas, placing foam gaskets behind the electrical plugs, and installing programmable thermostats. All right, and the last one is keeping it maintained. There are some parts of your home that need regular maintenance, like your sewer system, your heating and cooling systems, your ventilation, your structural integrity, your cooking area. And so another thing is when your home is not well maintained, or you have an older home that's not maintained, you can be exposed to certain things such as lead. Remember, I was saying that older homes pre-1978 may have lead paint, or they may have different areas in the home that include lead. And if it's not well maintained, that wall paint can be chipped away. You can start breathing in, lead particles. And lead is extremely dangerous. It's a very serious thing to deal with, especially with children. It leads to reduced IQ, learning disabilities, impaired hearing, reduced attention spans, kidney damage, and a lot of other serious things. And so you need to know how to protect your family from lead in the home if you do have an older home. And so we have some information here, some pamphlets on that. And if you're in the Kansas City region, you should also contact the health department in their Healthy Homes office, because they have a lot of different information about how to keep your home healthy. And they also, if you have complaints about your landlord and they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing, you can file a complaint with the Healthy Homes program within the Kansas City, Missouri, within the city of Kansas City, Missouri. So that's definitely something to know as well. So again, tips: if you rent or own, call your landlord as soon as you notice any rodents or roaches or holes in your apartment, making sure that you are cleaning your gutters every year if you're a homeowner, making sure that you clean your grease trap on your stove, making sure your floor drain traps are filled with water, make sure your bath fans are working, just all these things that need to be maintained as a homeowner, as you are able to do it, as your income allows, that you just keep your home running, because in the end, that's best for your home, that's best for your health. And if you rent, your landlord should fix any water leaks or water damaged areas, fix all cracks and holes, and maintain your furnace and hot water heaters. And taking action on the Healthy Homes, again, renters, you should be talking with your landlords, the local Department of Housing, the Healthy Homes program for Kansas City, Missouri. And homeowners, there are a lot of different programs where you can get help. The Community Action Agency of Greater Kansas City has a lot of help for people that are income eligible. There are several minor home repair programs throughout the city and within different neighborhood associations. Habitat for Humanity is also a good resource. And then public or Section 8 housing also has help through your local housing authority. And again, we'll share all these resources. There is a link here in this presentation. I'll give it to Marilyn, and she can share it out with you all. And that is the end of my presentation. So I hope you all learned something. And, we don't want to just give you this information and leave. So we do have information on a Healthy Homes program that Jacob, I'm going to hand it over to him and he'll share a little bit more about that. So Jacob, take it away.
Sure. So as she was saying earlier, we have a Healthy Homes project here in Kansas City. It all started with a study that was done by Children's Mercy Hospital, and they found out by weatherizing and just making sure your home was healthy and safe, like Brittany was describing. You can reduce allergy and asthma symptoms up to 30%. So just a little bit about this grant. The Healthy Homes Production Grant Program takes a comprehensive approach to addressing multiple childhood diseases and injuries in the home, focusing on housing-related hazards in coordinated fashion rather than addressing a single hazard at a time. The program builds up HUD's successful lead hazard control programs to expand the department's efforts to holistically addressing a variety of high-priority housing-based and health and safety standards, such as mold, moisture, poor indoor air quality, pests, carbon monoxide, injury, and safety hazards, in addition to lead-based paint. So the Healthy Homes KC program mission will be not only to repair as many high-risk houses as possible in Kansas City, but we also want to educate people, as many people as possible. So we do that in two phases. One would be community outreach. Just like Brittany just gave you guys today, they shared the 8 principles of healthy homes, and we also host our own other programs like this, just like this. With that, we also have, we usually give our attendees with free energy savings kits, and if your program doesn't usually feed you guys, we can also help you guys with that also. So if you would like for your neighborhood or community organization to have that same presentation, just let me know and we can get that scheduled for you. And then the second phase is basically to just be able to train the contractors. We have another training, and it's called the 8 Principles of Healthy Homes for Contractors. It's a 4-hour training, and that with this training you get on Children's Mercy's list of contractors to be able to do these housing repairs. So we welcome all types of specialties, from everybody from HVAC to painting, insulation, all of these kind of professions. You should be able to reach out to us and we can get you in that class and to be able to work with Children's Mercy and some of their programs that they have there. So you can either just reach out to me at right here at down there at Jacob Moore at Metro Energy, or mary.english@metroenergy.org, and we will be happy to get you signed up.
Great. Thank you, Jacob. So I welcome any questions in the chat, when you all are watching this, and I'm sure Marilyn will, hand those questions over to us. If people have questions, comments, or concerns, we'd be happy to get back with you, circle back. And also we have our Project Living Proof tours, which I mentioned. We'd love to have you guys come out and see our home and learn about energy efficiency in the home. And if you do want this presentation for your neighborhood association, like Jacob said, reach out to us and we can set that up. Got dinner for y'all and energy savings kits. So that's always a fun time to learn about healthy homes and get some food. So, a win-win situation. So Marilyn, thank you for having us. I'll pass it back to you.
Mute.
Oh, you're on mute, Marilyn.
Thank you. Thank you so much for just creating the awareness and just reminding us that, all the different ways to keep our home safe and our family safe and healthy as well. Such great information. And I love that you guys are all about community outreach. And so definitely take advantage of all that they have to offer. with their community outreach and education, as well as I love to train the contractors. So necessary and needed for businesses, organizations, just so we can just become more knowledgeable, right? And more aware.
Mhm.
So thank you
Mhm.
Right.
so much. Great information. And I'm going to ask both of you guys, and now this is something that I didn't even share with you, but
Mhm.
Brittanie and Jacob, can you guys give us some encouraging words? We'll start with you, Brittanie, and then Jacob, and then we'll end our Mindful Monday with that.
Okay, yeah. Some encouraging words for Monday. Let's see. Um, I would just say that, we're all in various sectors of Kansas City. We work at a nonprofit, so obviously that means we are in this for community growth, for community benefit, for just sharing knowledge with our fellow neighbors. And I just encourage you all to do the same thing, no matter what job you have, no matter what industry you're in, that you just do it to the best of your ability, because we all have something important to contribute to our neighborhood and to our city. So, do everything with gladness and joy, and help everybody, be a friend to everybody. Treat others how you want to be treated. That's my mindful Monday nugget.
Yes, thank you.
Hmm.
Um, I would just say, I would just kind of piggyback off of that because I would like to say you never know who's really watching you. You never know who you're influencing,
Hmm.
for better or worse. So yeah, that definitely became a real apparent to me. I'm actually going on vacation, and I'm going to see a nephew that's just enrolled in school in Atlanta. So I'm going to go down there, and we had a long talk about that, and that was kind of the main message. It's just you never know who's really watching you.
Hmm.
That's right. So good. So you not only did you guys get some knowledge around um, environmental and economic, but you also got some encouraging words on this Mindful Monday. So hopefully that this was great information for you guys. It was enlightening. That you will also share it with your network, because I know if I needed it and to be reminded, I know others do as well. So don't just keep this to yourself, share it, and have an amazing week on this week. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Marilyn. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for your
Bye-bye.
time.